Merry Christmas everyone. So exactly a year ago I did a walk of Turbary Common and it wasn't raining, so I've not been here for several weeks actually because the weather has been rubbish and obviously it's dark, so I'm going to take you through the normal walk that I make and see if anything's changed in the recent weeks. So here we go. I haven't worn this raincoat for years. I was in two minds about whether to come out or not, but I really wanted to get some air and work up a bit of an appetite for later on. So I've got a stinking cold, but I don't feel bad in myself. The time is 2:45. So this might make suitable alternative viewing to the Queen's speech. Now I did watch the last year's video that I made of this walk, which is you can still see on my Facebook page if you go to the pictures drop down bar and it has more and videos. You'll see it there. It's not on YouTube, but I will try to put this one on YouTube. I didn't manage it last time. Quality's always better. This is the first one I've done with my new phone actually, I think. I'm very much a fair weather walker when it comes to these places I've been to since 2020 and hardly ever venture out when it's wet. I'll try not to get my finger over. This is really awkward, this phone. If I hold my hand like that, it's so easy for finger to go over, so I'm going to have to use it with right hand side.
I don't know if Luke's planning to cross and meet up tomorrow, I'm not sure.
Hey.
Hi.
I'll try to make this a little bit different from the one I did last year. And I'm sure it will be, because look how wet it is here. This is going to be a bit treacherous. Crikey. I've got my hiking boots on, but they're not really waterproof. I did get absolutely soaked to my socks one time. So obviously people will be here, one or two people will be here walking their dogs as they have to do. But ordinarily it's quite a quiet place. As I've said many times, this is a little bit of a hidden gem. It's just off of a couple of main roads, but it's 40 acres of protected land. And if you want to check out my previous videos, I've done about 3 of these now. They're all on my YouTube channel, Simon Wood Guitarist, and all my other walks from lockdown and otherwise. So, excuse me puffing and panting, but I haven't done any exercise for bloody ages. I've got a bit of a cold, like I say. So this is a major excursion for me. So the last few Christmases have been very strange actually for me, in that I've been single now for 5 3/4 years, not that I'm counting, and consequently you spend Christmas on your own anyway, so no family, My brother lives in New Zealand, and so there's not really a Christmas Day big occasion, and it's I've gotten quite used to it. I don't mind it at all. I'm not a big fan of Christmas. I don't think I've really enjoyed Christmas since my 30s. It's all about family and having a partner, etc. So my main reason for coming out today is to take the air and see this place again that I haven't been to for weeks, like I've said, because typically once it starts getting dark around 4 o'clock, I don't want to go out, especially when it's wet, even though I have a torch. There we go, dog walkers. I knew there'd be quite a few. But over to where they are going is an estate, so it's not far for them to travel to take their dogs. Similarly over there you see the houses, the main road, Turbary Park Avenue. The dog is going to come and attack me. This flat part, once a farm, hundreds of years ago. That's why it's different from the other bits. Cheers, Clive. Yeah, I'm reasonably well. I certainly haven't had any virus-related illnesses. Just a traditional cold, and I haven't even had one of these for over 2 years, so I figured I was due. And it's been quite quick, actually. I felt too bad with it. Now these people are going exactly the way I wanted to go, so I could go a different way, but there's lots of different routes you can take. Okay, I'm going to break with tradition and go back this middle way. Anyone who's watching for the first time, this place is literally across the road from where I live in Wallisdown. Just a very short walk. And Turbary Common takes me, if I carry on all the way to the end, to the industrial estate where there's that massive new Lidl and loads of other shops, Home Bargains, Argos, all that lot. So and as usual, I start walking about, my nose runs. So excuse me sniffing, blow my nose. Hey Paddy, happy Christmas. How you doing? I expect you've done this walk quite a few times, being as it's right round the corner from where the post office depot is. This place, any time of the year, is an attractive place because it changes throughout the seasons, as you can imagine, and it's just untouched. I've never fully understood why they don't do anything with any areas of it, because there's so much of it. I think they could, but it's one of those kind of protected places that have got historic value, and I don't know. Lots of big oak trees there. It's a strange sight to see that one completely bare. I was fairly determined to come out today, like I've said, because I haven't been for a long time, but whenever I come out in the summer months, or certainly avoiding November, December, it's a fantastic walk. Lots of different ways I can go and enjoy sort of 20-minute, 40-minute or an hour trips around this place and get my exercise. And I've kind of fallen in love with the place, as probably many of you know, because I never stop talking about it and filming it and taking pictures of it. Even though I do really enjoy and like Kinson Common and Talbot Woods, obviously right around the corner as well. Lower Gardens has got some nice walks. I recently discovered, and eventually I will do a proper video of it, the Knighton Heath, Camford Heath, which is more kind of Poole direction, so it's about a mile drive down the road. But I did some pictures of it last summer, just discovered it quite late. It's another favourite of dog walkers. Now I'm coming sort of reverse way that I normally walk, so I'm going to go into the woods again, the backwards way, just to break things up. Yeah, so normally I'd come out of this entrance, we'll go up to the tree hut. You can see what they've done to that. I haven't been there for ages. Ooh. Yeah, this is the little Wendy house, as I call it, that I've had profile pictures taken up against. Don't look like there's been any developments here. I've yet to see anyone in it. There we go. Okay, let's go reverse through the woods. So I've only got 2 people watching, or maybe 1 person watching, and I figure that's probably because you're having your Christmas dinner. So you can watch it later on. But, let's take the hood off for a bit. It's quite warm now. Yeah, it's not cold at all, but it is wet. So actually my hood's going back up. So, you'll see very soon in the distance there is the back end of the industrial park. So this is the wooded part at the back, and there's another one which I'll get to later on if you stay with me. I have really missed walking around this place, and sometimes the reason I can't go is because it's here's those people we just saw, the yapping dog. I'll just pause it quickly. Dogs love me.
Sorry.
It's alright.
He's not, he's just loud.
Yeah.
Darwin, come here.
Darwin, come here. Get away. Go away, sorry.
Anyway,
Darwin. Lance up, you're on the lead.
I do not like dogs. Never have done. And that's one of the reasons why. As I was saying, oh yeah, one of the reasons why I can't or haven't been going out for walks is because it gets dark early and I haven't been able to get out earlier because of work or you know, just time. And also I prefer to go out after dinner if I can.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so obviously come sort of November time, I might start drawing in at 4 or 5 o'clock, and then the only times I've gone out, rare occasions, is when it's still comparatively dry. And I've got this big torch that can guide me through, you know, sort of tail end of the summer when it starts getting dark. But I do prefer going out after my meal, like I've just said, because it's nice just to walk it off, and I'm just more of a night person, you know. Okay, so I'm going to go back. This is the way I would have come in. Would have come in. I haven't seen any other cows today. I presume we'll probably see them later on, sheltering, because that's what they do. They get under the trees and they don't like the rain, do they? There's about 6 cows here usually. I looked at the weather forecast to see if it might be any better tomorrow, but it's going to be just as rainy apparently, so it was pointless me sort of putting it off to another day this week. Plus I wanted to repeat what I did last year. But obviously taking a slightly different route to break things up. These oak trees. You can't quite see it with the camera, but there's sort of this green moss on them and no leaves. It's quite an attractive look. One way towards the estate down there. I don't normally go down that way because it's a bit dull. So let me know in the comments if you've gone anywhere for a walk today, and where do you go, and would you go out in this rain? Do you have to because you've got a dog like these people? This has been a place of much contemplation of what's been happening over the last nearly coming up to 2 years, isn't it? 20 months, something like that. And yes, too much time to think about everything really. But you know, I've been grateful for it. It's along with the other places like I mentioned, Kinston Common's also a great place. If you go to my YouTube channel, all the videos are there, check them out, because if you've not been, definitely places I think you'd enjoy. And also, the reason I say that is they're not just flat, plain walks. They've got, you know, interesting things about them, different bits you can break the monotony of a routine. You can choose to stay in sheltered areas or open field bits, you know, like this. So we're now just coming back up to the, what I affectionately named the flat bit, and I'm going to take you back a different way so we can go into the lower forest bit with the stream, which will probably be quite flooded, I should imagine. It is warm. Obviously I've been walking about now for 20 minutes or so, but hey Brian, went to the cliff top about 11:30, yeah, Southbourne, yeah, of course, it's your area. It's quite windy here now, the rain is relentless, but you know, it's not heavy rain. Like the lens, it's probably got quite a bit of rain on it. Here we go, I think that's alright now. Dug this coat out of the cupboard, I've not worn for bloody years. So I thought, well, I will do, because it's got the hood on it. My umbrella's broken, so I'm going to carry an umbrella as well as the phone. So a lot of people have been asking me, well, what will you do on Christmas Day? I said, well, the answer to that is nothing. I mean, for many years actually, there's been a party down the road, my good friends Pat and Elaine from the band. We have some little soirees down there, but obviously this year and last year that hasn't happened. But you know, so I've just stayed in, watched telly, drink, just like a normal weekend when there's no gigs anyway, really. So Christmas doesn't have that big significance for me, like I said earlier, and I'm not bothered by it really. The best thing for me about Christmas is the time off work. Now, ordinarily, yes, that would be a great thing, but there's been so much time off of work, without the gigging, is probably what I mean there. I'm always glad when the school terms are over. Because like many jobs you've done for 20 years, it's not as much fun as it used to be. Now, how am I going to negotiate this bit? Oh my god, this is not going to end well. Yeah, okay. I was looking to see if anything had changed about this place. There's been the odd fire. They've cleared quite a lot of the bracken and whatnot. I'm not sure whether they were deliberately made or just happened, I don't know. But I think it's fair to say that any regular people who come here are more likely to come out in better weather, apart from the die-hard dog walkers, but there have been many of those today actually. I once said that I never see more than an average of 6 people in a 50-minute walk of this place, which is quite incredible given the size of the place and proximity to the main road. See, over there is Kensington Road, the road that I live in, about there. That's Turbary Park Avenue over there, where I drive past. I've told this tale many times, but I'll say it again in case you haven't seen the videos. The road that I drive along to go to work, my first part of the journey, and you can't see it from the road because it's just hedges. And for years and years and years, in fact until last year, I'd never been here. Incredible. Didn't know it was there, didn't know how much was here. I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to show you George's bench. There's only 3 benches on this huge park. One of them was back in just outside the woods area. One of them was on the flat part, which you might have seen. And this one, George's bench they call it. I'm not quite sure who he was, but he liked this place. There you go. And this is often a great view. I've taken many pictures of. Right, so I'm going to go kind of back the way we came in, and then I'm going to go through the lower enchanted forest, as I nicknamed it last year. So this is a bit of a longer. I think the one I did last year was only 20 minutes. I paused it, but I thought, no, I'm going to do the whole thing. Like I said, in an attempt to build up a bit of an appetite for the ribeye steak I'm going to have later on. And when I make fun of turkey, it's just because turkeys were used to feed lots of people. That's why. You certainly wouldn't buy it for 2 of you. We never did it for 4 when I lived at home, or 3 for the most part. It'd be pointless and too much effort. So for the sort of latter years of my time living at home with mother and father, we always had steak, so it became a tradition for me when I moved out of home. I think a couple of years I've had curry, you know. I might have a curry tomorrow, but the thing about cooking a steak is, and all the trimmings, it's really not that much effort, very little washing up, and it tastes great. And they're not expensive, you know. I paid about £5 for the one I'm having today. Oh, here we go. Gotta watch that finger. This is... God, it has been... I'm trying to work out how long it's been now since I last walked. It would have been sort of October. Oh, look, there's a cow. Yes, it's been a good 8 or 9 weeks. I love this section. There's a man-made stairs here, steps rather, leading down to this stream which crosses the road and goes underneath towards, eventually ends up at the Stour River. There's a cow. Normally I can walk round this bit, but it's flooded too much, so I have to go this way. Certainly in the summer this is quite an attractive part of the park, and you occasionally see the odd people hanging around, but yeah, as you can imagine, it's a bit more of a deluge. I'm going to try not to slip on this bit. There you go. Alright. Let it go. Right. I'm going to take the low road. It took several visits for me to actually find this part. I just used to go where that girl's just gone with a dog and takes you right at the top, and you can walk along the ridge and look down, but I decided not to do that today. It's a bit extra muddy. That's where I got my boots absolutely soaked up to the ankles by taking the wrong bit. It's not going to be much better here, but excuse me. Ooh, oh. It's interesting actually, because last year when I did this walk and the Facebook Live, there were a lot more of you watching and saying hi and messages coming through. So it's quieter this year for some reason. But if I'm really honest with you, my opinion of this year has been it's worse than 2020. At least with 2020 we had the comparative novelty of lockdown and all the things that went along with it. The novelty which obviously after 1 year wore off to the point of, you know, people just kind of started to get back to living their lives the way they did as much as possible. However, one thing that remained for me, and I think will always remain, is walking around, which I never did before. I've said this on my other videos. If you watch them, I apologise for repeating the sort of things I say about this, but I just never had done, and I have to say it's one of the best things, or probably the best thing that's come out of the pandemic, is the visiting places right on my doorstep that I'd never had done before, and enjoying them. I was just not a country sort of person, even though I live near so much of it. Excuse me. Walking about does make your nose run even more, so. Yeah. It's very, very calm, and I still don't think I've seen more than 6 people. Some people just come in and just do a very short loop just to take the dog for a walk, and they don't go very far in like I have, or all the way round. Now this, coming up to a bit of an incline here, so expect me to be more breathless than I have been. Yeah, so if you've got time, there's really not much on television this Christmas. I'm really quite annoyed about it, so maybe check out some of my other videos on my YouTube channel, which will be maybe a little bit more pleasant to look at in the summer. Well, that's only about half an hour, perhaps a bit more, so it's a very quick walk. So that leads out to turn left to the main road where I am. This long path will take me back to the entrance where we came in, and there you have it. That's my walk for today. Thanks for watching, if indeed you are, and hope you're having a good Christmas, whatever you're doing, and speak to you all soon.